Good morning. Welcome to Wednesdays with Willa. I am your host, Willa White, and this is my weekly podcast show that airs on Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern on my Facebook page, Willa White Medium. It's an opportunity for us to have a wonderful spiritual discussion regarding either spiritualism, mediumship, healing, faith, family, or more. And it's always a special delight to have on the show a beautiful guest. And today we are very, very blessed to have with us Dondi Dahlin. Hello, Dondi.
Hi, Willa. I'm so happy to be here with you. Good morning to us. I know it's different times in different parts of the world, but good morning to you.
Yes, yes. We're glad that you could tune in with us today. And we definitely are going to have a tune up because our topic today is energy balancing for you. And for those of you who don't know who Dondi Dahlin is, she is an amazing woman who has been raised in the understanding of energy medicine. And in fact, she is the author of The Five Elements and the Little Book of Energy Medicine. She's definitely raised in the world of natural healing. Her mother, Donna Eden, is world renowned as an energy medicine pioneer. And Dondi is going to be one of our summer season workshop presenter highlights. So you're going to want to mark your calendars because she's going to be here June 29th and 30th. And I will post a link there for people who are wanting to get to those workshops in particular. There are even VIP tickets that you can get so that you can have some extra special time with Dondi, which I think is beautiful. And this is year 7 of Wednesdays with Willa. For those of you who aren't familiar with my show, this is year 7. I've got lots of archive videos of past shows, great guests that I've had on. In fact, you can look back in the archive videos on my Facebook page, Willa White Medium, and also my YouTube channel. And a lot of people they'll type in the name of their favorite guest or a different topic, and then there's a whole slew of videos that they can catch up on. And it's really wonderful. So please like and share and follow and subscribe and all of those good things. And Dondi, you have such a special background. You've been raised for years in this understanding of energy medicine, and you've been able to utilize that in your own life and in your own energy practice. I'm so excited about what you're going to share with us today.
Oh, thank you, Willa. Well, I'm really excited to share about the energy work that I learned from my mom that thousands of people do around the world. And we look at 9 specific energy systems. So I am excited to go wherever you'd like me to go, Willa.
I think it's going to be fascinating because some people are not used to thinking in terms of their own energy, their living in their own life, of work or family, or just their nose to the grindstone, so to speak. And a lot of times their bodies, their energy can be suffering emotionally. They can be going through quite a lot. And I feel it's so important that people have some techniques that they can fall back on that are good spiritual foundational principles in their life that they can then apply, not just when things get a little sticky, but on a daily basis so that they can thrive and maybe head some things off of the past. And I think that's some of the big premise behind energy medicine is preventative, but also getting yourself into a curative mode of paying attention to your energy systems. So yes, if you can take us through today, those some of those 9, that would be great. I think people really need that today.
Awesome. I would love to. And I want to just reflect on what you said because it's so true that if you have techniques that are easy and doable and that you can do in everyday life, you will be amazed at how much better you will start to feel, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. And you start to notice little things like maybe you don't snap at your mate as much, or maybe you know that the flu is going around town and interesting, you didn't get it this year, but everyone around you got it. because you were doing your techniques. And so they're easy techniques, and I will teach some today, and I'm super excited about that. They're techniques to keep your immune system strong, to generate your joy and your happiness and your calm. And they work so well preventatively. They can also work if you're ill. My mom, Donna Eden, really started teaching this work around 1977, even though she was doing it long before then, but started teaching it in 1977 because she had an autoimmune illness. She had multiple sclerosis. And she used these techniques, some of these techniques that I'll talk about today, to heal herself. And she really wanted everyone across the world to have easy, simple techniques. And Willa, one of the things that I have to always say as a little caveat is they look and feel so easy, so simple, that maybe some people don't believe that they can do anything. But they can, and they do. And they do with tiny issues, small issues. Maybe you have, I'll call a headache a small issue, even though I know headaches can be quite serious for people, especially with migraines. And if you're out there and you have migraines, I feel for you. But let's say you just have a little headache. You can use a technique to take that headache away. Or if you have a more serious autoimmune illness, you can work with these techniques to either alleviate the aches and pains of that illness or possibly take it away like my mom did. And the reason is because your hands are electromagnetic. So your hands, think of them like little magnets, and you can put them all over your body in different places. And people watching have probably heard of acupressure points and chakras. Maybe you've heard of the meridians. You can place your hands on those places on your body, and you can move the energy. And when I say energy, I mean pain. If there's too much energy and it's stuck, that can be very painful in the body. Well, guess what? You can move that out with your hands. Or maybe you have a sore throat and you need some good energy in your throat area. You can move the good energy to that area. And I know all of this can start to sound miraculous, crazy, woo-woo, strange. Yep, it all does. It all sounds that way, and it still works.
Yes, ma'am.
So I will go through the 9 energy systems. Let me say what they are first, and then I'll go through them. So we have, and see if I remember all 9, because we work in a lot more energy systems than just this. But the 9 are really the foundation of our work and the foundation of my mom's work. So we have the meridians, the chakras, the radiant circuits. If you haven't heard of some of these, I'll go over them as we go along in this hour. The electrics, the 5 elements, the triple warmer, the Celtic weave, and the basic grid. 8, 9. What am I missing? Chakras, radiant circuits. Let me look at my list. Meridians, chakras, aura, basic grid, Celtic weave, 5 elements, triple warmer, radiant circuits, and the electrics. So those are the main ones. And like I said, I have notes all over the place because I, like a lot of people in energy medicine, we start to personalize the techniques to us, the daily routines that we do, the wake up routines, the go to bed routines. We all have our own favorite techniques and energy systems. But I want to stay on track today to really teach you these 9. And you may not follow all 9. You may say, oh, I like the sound of that triple warmer. I'm going to study that one more. Or the meridians. That sounds like something that I could really use. I'm going to study that one more. So you'll have a little smorgasbord of 9 of them. All right, Willa. So shall I just start maybe with the meridians?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the meridians, they are energy pathways. I often explain them like rivers on the body, going up and down the body. There are 14 meridians. But just recently, I said to my mom, we were filming a course, and I said, Mom, you know, my whole life I've said that the meridians are like rivers of energy, and that's how they feel. I can sense energy, sometimes more than I see it. My mom is the amazing seer of energy. And let me just go to that for a moment, and then I'll get back to meridians. So everybody understands when my mom sees people, let's say she sees someone walking down the street or she's in a crowd of people, she doesn't even really see the color of their hair, the color of their eyes, the color of their skin. She sees their energy systems. So she is the all-seer. She sees the chakras in the body, the meridians. She sees maybe what's happening with their kidneys or their heart or their liver. Oftentimes, she can't ever remember what someone looked like because she remembers their energy. And she'll say, oh, Dondi, remember that lady who had the lung thing? And I'll be like, well, I didn't see that, but I remember the lady with the green hat on. Sometimes I do see it. I see energies a little differently than my mom. But let's get back to the meridians. So we were filming this course, and I said, Mom, what exactly do they look like to you? And she said, oh, they're like beautiful ribbons in the breeze, colorful ribbons up and down the human body. And they're just waving in the breeze. And I thought that was so beautiful. And even though I've been in this work all my life, I'm in my mid-50s, I had never really asked, what do you see as meridians? And that's what she sees. So they're energies. And you can work with your meridians in super easy ways. What you want is your meridians to be flowing forward in the direction they're supposed to flow in.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is sometimes in life, due to stress, or mostly stress, travel, a busy lifestyle, some pent up anger, some old emotions, your meridians can get clogged and they can even start to run backwards. And that's when you might feel a little off. You might be in a bad mood. You might get that flu that's going around town because your meridians aren't flowing how they should to be able to stave off that flu. So, Willa, I'd love to teach one easy meridian.
Please do.
Okay, so I'm going to back up my chair a little bit. We're going to do one of the first ones I ever learned. When I was about 12 years old, I started getting sore throats. And my mom taught me lung meridian. And lung meridian can help for the whole area in the lungs, but also throughout the entire throat area. And it was such a simple technique for me because I was in junior high and I didn't want to fuss with a whole lot of natural healing. So this was easy to do, meaning if you have a grandchild, if you have a child and they're having any throat issues, this can also help for being able to speak up and be assertive. So it's the physical and the mental and the emotional. You can teach them this. So I'm going to put my arm out. Let's see if I get it in the camera. I'm going to go this way. We're opposite today on this camera, Willa and I. We were talking about this right before we came on, so I have to do the opposite for you. So for the lung meridian, you're going to start right here at your chest. You can touch your skin or you can hold the hand out. You see how I'm holding out my hand just a few inches from my chest. You actually don't have to touch the body. And the reason is because a couple things are going on. I told you we have electromagnetic hands. So our hands have a magnetism that comes out a few inches, But we also have this wonderful biofield, which you may know as the aura. And once you get within your aura, and for some people, the aura can go way out several feet. For a lot of people, it's at least a few inches out. Once you get within your aura, you can affect your energy. So because I'm wearing the microphone, I'm going to come a few inches out, start at the chest area, and you're going, and do it with me if you're watching, please. Take your hand and you're going to go up your shoulder, down your arm, and right off your thumb. And that's it. That is lung meridian. And what you're doing is you're tracing this energy pathway in the way it should be going for you to have great health. And I'll give you a little bit of an advanced move if you want to do it. If you're thinking, oh, this is perfect for me because I have throat issues, you can flush your meridian, which is going backwards. So we would start at the thumb, up the arm, over the shoulder, end at the chest. So I just went backwards and then forwards 3 times, and 2 and 3. You want to do it on both sides, so go ahead and do it on both sides, and I'll talk to you while you're doing it. So you can do this as many times a day as you would like. You can set a certain time of day to do it. And if you're only going forward, I would do it several times. I would do it maybe 4 or 5 times, or you can flush it again backwards and then forwards 3 times. So,
Beautiful.
Willa, I can move on unless you would like to ask me anything.
I think it's beautiful that you gave us such a wonderful example of how to do that. And some people are probably going to feel the flow of energy as that hand is passing along the arm.
Yes, some people will. Some people might feel heat. You might feel tingling. You might even feel a difference in your lungs and like, wow, I can breathe a little easier. And you might not feel anything, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that it's not working. Energy work is actually cumulative. So the more you work with your energies, the more your energies are going to jump on board with you. Because remember, if you've never done energy medicine or energy healing, your energies have a habit of things you've been doing all your life. Maybe the energies are clogged. Maybe they're going backwards. Maybe they are not moving real well through your body. And you're going to change that habit now. So at first, you may not feel it. Once in a while, Willa, and I should say this, every once in a while, someone will feel a little dizzy or a little like, ooh, I thought this was supposed to feel good and that didn't feel good and I'm going to sit down. That can happen because energy is so powerful. So if you're suddenly moving the energy through your throat and your lungs, and it hasn't really moved like this before, it might take you aback. So sit down, get a glass of water, breathe gently, and it should pass within a couple minutes, if not sooner.
I'm glad you stated that, because some people will have a bit of that rumbling to get through until there's more ease. Would you say that there's a better breathing pattern that people can utilize while they're doing the passive energy, especially because it's working with the lungs? Would you suggest an inhale or exhale at a certain time, or that does not matter?
Such a great question. So I'll say this. What my mom and everybody in energy medicine who teaches it in our world of energy medicine, what we want you to do is breathe the way that feels best for you. There are so many different ways of breathing. Of course, there are very specific ways in yoga, different ways in Qigong and Tai Chi. I'll tell you the way we like to breathe, but if somebody is feeling like, oh, I can't even remember how to breathe and do the meridian, just do the meridian and breathe however it feels best. We like to breathe in through our nose, out through our mouth. So it looks like this. In through the nose, out through the mouth. The reason we like to do that is because there are actually two meridians that hook up at the back of the throat when you do this breathing pattern. One goes up the front of the body, it's called the central meridian, and one goes up the back of the body, and it's called the governing meridian. And we'll trace those, and we'll often end here, but they actually end at the back of the throat. So if you do this breathing pattern, it can help set that really good habit of those meridians flowing in the right direction.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I know people are eager for the next one you can share with us.
Okay. All right. And that was a wonderful question. Thank you. So I'll talk about the chakras now. So the chakras are usually a word people have heard of. Believe it or not, there are chakras all over the body. Most of the books and many healers concentrate on 7 of them, going from the pubic bone to the top of the head. And some concentrate on even an 8th one up here above the head. But there are little chakras all over the body, and you want to think of it like a disc or a wheel spinning. Now, you can affect your chakras with your own hands. And again, one of the first techniques I ever learned, I learned lung meridian, and then 12, 13 were difficult for me, as they are for a lot of people. If you're getting bullied in school, maybe your parents are divorcing, maybe things aren't going well. That's how my life was. And it was manifesting in physical pain, and I'd get stomach aches. And my mom showed me how to take my hand and do a chakra clearing. Shall I show that, Willa?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to stand up. Before I stand up, let me say this. It's really easy. A chakra clearing is taking your own hand and going in backwards circles wherever there might be pain on your body. And the circles are usually 8, 9, 10, 11 circles. And then you go forward on the circle. Now, everything I do here, I think, is going to be showing a reverse. Is that right, Willa?
Probably.
Okay. I'll try to figure that out and show everybody what we're doing. But also the 7 main chakras and even 8th chakra that go from the pubic bone to the top of the head and beyond, they're incredible because they hold memory. They say that the chakras hold everything you have ever done in your life. And if you believe in pre-life and reincarnation, they can even hold past life memories. So what does that mean? It means when you go to an energy healer who is really versed in chakras, they can touch into some of those memories, which means they can clear trauma for you. They can clear old habits that are no longer needed. My mom always says, and she saw thousands, tens of thousands of clients over 25 years. If she only had time for one thing, maybe she was only seeing that client one time, she would do a chakra session on them. And she could choose a lot of things. She could choose meridians and 5 elements and triple warmer and the electrics. She would do the chakras. So this is what I would do. When I was younger, on my stomach, I would trace. Now let's see. I'm going to go this way, and it should look like I'm going counterclockwise. So if I had a clock right here and it was facing out, I would go counterclockwise on the clock. And this was because I had stomach aches. And I'd go about this fast, maybe 8 or 9 times. And then I'd shake it off. Shaking it off is just because we like to shake off any excess energy that might have accumulated in our hand. So then we can go back with our hand this way and go in the clockwise forward direction. And that is a chakra clearing. Really, really simple. Again, you can do it on any pain you might have. When you go to a practitioner of Eden, an Eden method practitioner, they can do a whole chakra session on you, going from the root chakra all the way to the crown and above. And that usually takes about an hour or longer. And they can tap into deep, deep cellular memory. It's pretty incredible. So that's the chakras in a nutshell.
Love it. I think that gives people a good understanding of how to work with that wheel of light and energy that is the chakra. And it's so funny how, when you're thinking about clockwise, counterclockwise, all of those things, don't get too wrapped up in it, folks. Pay attention energetically to what feels correct when you're doing that movement. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Thank you for saying that, Willa. Sometimes when I had a really bad stomach ache, I would go counterclockwise, because that's how, think of it, when you're going backwards on the chakra, you're actually taking the energy out. So again, pain can be too much energy and you're relieving it, so you're going backwards. Sometimes I didn't even need to go forwards. My stomach ache was gone in a matter of minutes, and I thought, that's good enough. I don't really need to go forwards. It doesn't feel like I need it. I'm just leaving it at that. Mm-hmm. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah. And I think the other thing people can keep in mind is that the shape of a chakra, it's like a trumpet of light and energy. And so it's funneling energy in, but there's the output as well. And you're working with that flow of energy, which is why your hand may tingle and you may have awareness of that shift of energy. And you're basically doing a tune-up of that particular energetic instrument.
Yes. Yes, so beautiful. And because I want to get through all the 9 energy systems, I've only touched on it. But as Willa knows, each chakra represents something completely different, from the ones at your root all the way above your head, from spirituality to your ego to your most tender, beautiful stories of who you are, your identity, how you see the world, how you see other people. The chakras are incredible. So please know, as you watch this, you're just getting the tippy tip of the iceberg.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, what's our next one?
Okay, let's go to the aura. So the aura, otherwise known as the biofield, is all around your body, in front of you, behind you, on the sides of you. The colors of your aura are unique to what is going on with you in your world at that time. So the colors of your aura can change depending on what you're feeling and doing. And your aura, it's amazing because it protects you. It's very, very protective, which is wonderful. But it also is like this antenna that picks up messages for you. So it brings in information for you. And when you have a strong aura, you feel vibrant. You feel robust. You feel happier, more joyful. Having a strong aura is so incredible. Before I go on stage, and Willa and I were talking before we came on, that I've lived my life in energy medicine, but I've also lived my life in show business. And preparing to be in a commercial or on a film or on stage, my preparation, a lot of it, probably 90% of it, is with my aura. Mm-hmm. I'm preparing my aura. One, because I want to be able to protect myself and stay within the character that I have to be portraying. I want to remember my lines. I don't want to get outside influences, so it's a nice buffer. But also, because if I'm working with people, I need to really be able to pick up their information and have it land. So here's what I can say about the aura for you. Do lots of figure eights all around yourself. And I mean with your hands. I mean like this. I mean all over your body. Big ones above you, behind you, little ones. You can do little baby ones. Figure eights, figure eights, figure eights, however you would like to do it, because when you have a healthy aura, it has healthy crossover patterns in it. Your energy really needs to cross over. When your energies of your body don't cross and they run in straight lines up and down and they aren't doing this, that's when you're susceptible to illness and disease. And so doing figure eights all over your aura every day, all day. Do it with your hips, do it with your arms, do it with your hands. It's going to keep your aura plumped up and healthy. And again, so it protects you and it receives good energy for you. It actually keeps out the stuff you just don't need and pulls in the stuff that you do need to live a healthy life. So that's the nutshell of the aura.
Oh, fabulous. And I think people will get a lot out of this, and just using that word, that plump, you're fluffing up things in a very nice way. And I think that also helps people to not have everything be so skin tight, like they're plastic wrapped, so that they can start to play in that other dimensional understanding and
Yes.
expand the energy and the light.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Because when my mom looks at people and their auras, there are several things that can happen with a quote unhealthy aura. And don't worry, because you can make your aura healthy again. It's not permanent. But sometimes she will see that the aura is binding tight, tight, tight to someone's body. Maybe they've put up their guard. Maybe they aren't trusting anyone around them. And you don't want it that tight. But likewise, you don't want it to detach from your body and have things jump into it. You want it to be plump around you, healthy, protecting you. And you can do that with figure eights. And figure eights are being studied. I have to say that it's super exciting. They're being studied with children who take their pen and doodle. And a lot of times they'll make figure eights. They're learning better. They're able to have information land better. And so it's really exciting in the world of kinesiology, what's happening.
Very exciting. Thank you for sharing about that.
You're welcome.
And that's an easy one people can do anytime. Yeah.
Easy peasy, anytime. All right, so I'm looking, let's go to the electrics next.
Yes.
So the electrical system is incredible. Think of your cells as little tiny batteries. So you're made up of this electrical system, and your cells are individual. They sit alone, but they're also made up of everything else. So it's both worlds of your electrical system. And the electrics are so incredible in our work. If somebody has scar tissue, maybe on their body or inside their body, we work with the electrics. Electrics can burn away scar tissue. And I don't do the electrics on myself very often. You can, but for the electrics, I love going to a practitioner because you can relax. And normally, if you haven't been to an energy healer or an energy medicine practitioner, you usually are lying down on a massage table or a couch, and they lay their hands on you or around you. And when they do this with the electrics and they hook up your electrics, which let's pick one, there's one that they can do where they touch your chest and to the side of your groin at the same time. You might feel heat, you might feel a jolt, like, I mean, a beautiful jolt, like someone plugged you in, and you're like, wow. And it could give you a boost of energy. So that is your electrical system. The electrics, think of it as your little batteries keeping you going.
Mm-hmm. I think that's an excellent way to explain it. I really do,
Yeah.
Dondi. It's
Yeah.
so that people can apply it in their own lives. Of let's turn the power on.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So next, we have the radiant circuits. And the radiant circuits are also known as the joy generators. They open up your energies, your body, your mind, but mostly your energies for joy. So my mom always says things like, if you're depressed, you're down, you're sad, you're blue, it is not easy. It also sometimes doesn't even feel possible to think your way out of that. If you're depressed, oftentimes you're just depressed. And you can't say to yourself, okay, I'm going to do an affirmation, or I'll think positive right now and I'll bounce myself out of it. It doesn't always work. So you get out of the psyche and you work with your energies. Because if your energies can change, your mind will change. And you don't have to think positively for your energy to change and to help you and foster you and nurture you and boost you into a new joyful reality. So, one of the easiest techniques we do in Eden Method is we go right here to the third eye. So our third eye is right between our eyebrows. And when you are thinking a joyful thought, or maybe you've had a belly laugh with a friend, or maybe you're watching a play or a movie and it's so beautiful and it's making you feel so good, you tap it in. Just tap right here. You tap it into your third eye. This third eye goes to the pineal gland. The third eye works with your circadian rhythms. The third eye, working with your third eye, is about deep intuition. It can help you sleep at night. And it's one of these joy generators. This whole area right here is so powerful. You have a lot of acupressure points here. Some of the very first acupressure points on your meridians. And I should say that meridians was the first energy system I talked about a few minutes ago. Your acupressure points are on your meridians. So this whole area is an area that has acupressure points of your nervous system. So when you tap this, it calms your nervous system, and it also trains your body to feel that joy. So a lot of times in our family, let's say we're all hanging out, someone says something funny and we start laughing, you'll see everyone go like this. Tap it in, everybody, tap it in, because we want our body to remember that joy, to remember that belly laugh. So those are the radiant circuits.
Love it. We want to have the mind body connection syncing up, and I think that's what is happening when you
Yes.
do that particular kind of tapping. And it's
Yes.
a recognition of, remember this. This is something to remember and to live from.
Yes. And that does go into the cell memory. Exactly.
Love it, love it. I love the
Okay. Yay. All right. So I'll just say real fast what we've gone over. We've gone over meridians, chakras, aura, electrics, and radiant circuits. We still have the Celtic weave, the grid, the triple warmer, and the 5 elements. So I am going to leave the Celtic weave for the end, because if we have time, I'll do a nice technique. We'll go to the grid now. So the grid is amazing. Everything is amazing in the body. The grid is your foundation. It is your deepest foundation. It is deeper than, it's not deeper than the chakras, but in the body, physically, it's deeper, actually physically deeper than the chakras, which are more on the front and the back of the body, and you can access them really easily. The grid, you really need, and Willa, I have to say, my sun is coming up. Look
Oh,
at
I
that.
see that. Yes. You're in the spotlight.
So I'm sorry if that's distracting at all. It's coming right through the window now. I'm usually not up this early.
You did it for us folks. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. I'll make myself a little taller so it doesn't look so strange. Okay, so the grid, you really need a practitioner to work with your grid for you. It can be very, very, very powerful. I'm in San Diego right now, and in San Diego, we are teaching a live class. We start teaching it tomorrow and the next day. And we have our level 4, which is our year 4 students learning about the grid. We save it for 4 years. That's how profound the grid is. So in the first 3 years, they're studying everything else, and then they get to the 4th year and they get to learn the grid. And you can go very, very, very deep into the grid and heal incredible physical ailments, physical trauma that might have lodged inside your body. And your body can shift right out of it. Some ailments and illnesses you may have had for decades. And if you work with the grid and you get the grid to stabilize, remember, this would be like repairing the foundation of a house after an earthquake. Or here in California, we build buildings now where the foundations are strong so they can withstand earthquakes. That is your grid. So I know I'm going fast. Did I explain it okay?
No, I think it's beautiful because I think people need to understand the grid that's in them is connected to that deeper template, that divine template that is you, and you're returning to that divine template instead of those broken understandings that have happened before, and you're going back into that. It's almost like the stem cells unite in those moments.
Oh my gosh, I have to just write that down, the divine template, and I will credit Willa for that. Beautiful. That's so beautiful.
It goes back into those aura layers, right?
Yes, that's incredible. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to check my time. Good, we're doing good.
Great. You're just beautiful light.
Flowing along. All right, the triple warmer. When people come into our work, they hear a lot about the triple warmer. And today I'm covering it in about 4 minutes, but we spend all 4 years of our certification program weaving in and out of the triple warmer. It is that profound, that important to know about. The triple warmer is an energy system in the body. It governs your fight, flight, or freeze. So your ability to handle what comes at you in life. Are you going to flee? Are you going to freeze? What are you going to do? And when you're in a situation of stress, and this can be a tiny stress, like maybe your computer is acting up, or a big stress, maybe there's a car accident. Where are you going to be with that stress? Are you going to freeze? Are you going to freak out? Are you not going to be able to handle it? Or are you going to stay present and be able to assess the situation, feel calm in your body, and deal with it? And that is triple warmer. When you work with your triple warmer, your whole life can be healed with this energy system. It works also with your body temperature. So for a lot of women, our healing communities have a lot of women, and a lot of women who are entering perimenopause and menopause, and they're dealing with hot flashes. That is triple warmer. And when you work with triple warmer, you can get those hot flashes to say bye-bye. So we have a very easy, simple triple warmer technique. We have many triple warmer techniques, but this is a fun one that you can do any time of the day. It's called the triple warmer smoothie. And I'll tell you what we're doing first, and then I'll show it to you. We're actually going backwards on part of triple warmer meridian. So I told you triple warmer is an energy system in the body. It's also a meridian. Now remember what I said earlier. When you go backwards on something, you're taking energy out of it. So maybe there's a painful part of your body. That's a lot of energy, probably a lot of energy that hasn't been moving, that is stuck. So you go backwards on it. Maybe you trace the meridian backwards, or you do a chakra clearing backwards. You're taking energy out so there's space to breathe and new energy can come in. Triple warmer often gets overloaded with too much energy. Triple warmer is very, very strong in people's bodies. You don't need triple warmer to be on high alert all the time. You don't need to walk around like a lion is chasing you. That's triple warmer. Triple warmer is trying to look and protect you as you go through life. But you really don't need that as you're sitting at your kitchen table eating a meal. Calm down, triple warmer. I'm just eating this nice salad. Calm down. So this technique, when you feel stressed out, when you feel like you're freaking out, when you feel like, oh my gosh, how am I going to handle this? I really don't know if I can handle this one today. Do the triple warmer smoothie. So we'll rub our hands together. That just creates some heat. We're going to put our fingers right here at our temples. This is a triple warmer area. And yes, you can do this technique wearing a hat. You can also touch your skin. You're going to go up above your ears. You know what, Willa? I'm going to take the hat off so they can see. You'll see my messy, messy hair for a minute. All right, there you go, folks. My messy hair. Rub your hands together. Come to the temples, and you're going to go with both hands up over the ears, smooth behind the ears. Now, this is the triple warmer area. You'll see both sides where I'm at, temples, up above the ears, behind the ears. But you're also now coming over the vagus nerve, which can be very, very calming, coming down the neck and to your heart chakra. And we like to cross. Remember, we try to cross everything we can. It doesn't matter which hand is on top. I'm going to do it again. So we warm up our hands to create some energy. Come to our temples. Go up over the ears, behind the ears, down near the vagus nerve, and then come to your heart. And that is the triple warmer smoothie.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And people, when they have massages, they just love that section. And
yes.
And so it hits all of that energy going down. And that vagus nerve, having good vagal tone is so very important, as people are figuring out more and more over time. And that's a simple at-home one. Perfect. Thank you, Donna.
It is. And it's so, I love the triple warmer smoothie. Again, remember, energy is cumulative. Working with your energy is cumulative. So the more you do this, the calmer you will feel. And sometimes I'll go over it 4 or 5 times. Sometimes I'll breathe with it. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Also, this is one you can do that's kind of discreet. Like you could kind of do like that and no one will really know. Like if you're in a meeting or something and you're like, oh my God, I'm getting really triggered. I'm getting really triggered. I'll just do that.
And just like with the lung meridian, you
Yes,
don't have to touch the body. You can just go over it energetically, which
that's
makes
right.
it even more discreet or subtle.
That's right. And also mentioning the vagus nerve, which comes down this area of the neck. Many people have heard of the vagus nerve. It's become quite well known recently in the last few years. And people know that humming is really good for the vagus nerve. Well, you can hum while you do the triple warmer smoothie. Mm. And you can go much slower than I just did. I'm a wood element. We'll talk about the 5 elements in a few minutes. So I do everything fast.
You're doing perfectly today.
Oh, good. All righty. Okay, well, let's go on. Going to go to, we did the grid. All right, we have 2 left. Let's go to the Celtic weave. So the Celtic weave is an energy system in the body, and it's also one of our most popular techniques. And this technique will plump up your aura. This technique will help you feel protected. This technique is amazing, though, to also expand your aura. So this one is really, really good if you have to speak in front of a group, if you're going on stage, if you want to have a day where you actually do engage others. Maybe you're going to an event, maybe you're going to a wedding, and you think, you know what? I want to meet everybody and I want it to feel good and I don't want to get drained. A lot of people in our field tend to be empaths. They can get drained when they're around a lot of big energies of other people. But I don't want to get drained. I want to go to this wedding. I want to meet everyone. I want to talk to everyone and I want to feel good. You do the Celtic weave because it's protective, but it also reaches out to engage others. So can I stand up and do it, Willa?
Please, please do
All
it.
right. And hopefully everyone will do it with us. Move my chair, come back here so you can see me. Bring my microphone with me. Willa, will you just tell me if you can still hear me well?
Yes, totally.
Okay,
Beautiful.
great. So a lot of times in Eden method, in Eden energy medicine, we like to start a number of ways before we do a technique. You don't have to do this. You don't have to remember this. But if you want to, it can add to your techniques. One thing we do is we rub our hands together to create heat. Then you'll see us shaking our hands off because we don't need excess energy there. Then many times you'll see us put our hands on our thighs. This is for grounding. Now, there's a meridian called stomach meridian that runs from the face area all the way down the body and off the feet. So when you place your hands on your thighs, you can hold a number of energy systems here and meridians. And you're also engaging with that very grounding stomach meridian, which goes right off your feet and connects with the earth. So we like to ground. Sometimes I shut my eyes. And then for this one, the Celtic weave, you're going to bring your arms around and your hands in a pyramid position and just breathe here for a minute. Now, the pyramid position, you don't have to do. This is also one that people have started doing who just want to connect that energy. So again, you can leave this part out, but it's one thing you can do before your techniques. And you just breathe. Okay, and now we begin with our hands up by our ears, and I'm going to touch my elbows together, cross my arms, and come out. So I basically did kind of a little figure 8. And now I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to bend forward at the waist, elbows together and out. And I'm going to bend even further. You can bend your knees and do it one more time, elbows together and out. And then when I'm down here at the ground, I'm just going to bend forward and let my back, my lower back and my back stretch out a little bit. So I'm hanging here. And then I'm going to do figure 8 patterns, however you would like. You can do it like this. You can do it like this, all the way up, and let that energy come down. So let's do it one more time without the grounding and the temple and the breathing. Let's just start. Hands up by the ears, touch the elbows and out. Bend at the waist, touch the elbows and out. Bend again, touch the elbows and out. Hang down here for a moment, however long it feels good. Come up and bring that energy around you. Now, see, I did it a little different at the end, but I still finished with the figure 8s. So again, figure 8s can be with both hands going the same way. Figure 8s can be with the hands going opposite. Figure 8s can be around you. One more time, the Celtic weave. Hands at the ears, elbows out, elbows out, elbows out, and come up. And figure 8s all around. All right, Willa.
Wow, that was fabulous. And, it's such a dancing move, which I know appeals to you especially.
It is. The Celtic weave is just wonderful. And boy, it can make you feel really, really, as I said before, both protected but engaged at the same time, which is a great combination.
Yes. People are really loving that move. So thank you.
Good. You're welcome. So I think it's the 5 elements.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. So the 5 elements, they are so fascinating. The 5 elements are known as the world's oldest personality type system. However, they're also a health system. So they look at not only the personality of who you are and how you live life and how you perceive the world, but also your health. And what is your physical body doing in terms of ailments and sickness? And why did you get Hashimoto's? Or why did you get cancer of the tongue? Or why did you get really bad allergies? Or why did you get multiple sclerosis? Or why are you so healthy and your neighbor isn't? The 5 elements looks at all of that and the why behind, again, how you lead through the world or follow through the world, and the physical ailments your body picks up. It's over 2,500 years old. It was first looked at in 475 BC in China, and it was written into medical text. And there's some scant history that goes way back that shows that it probably started with Taoism. However, you go that far back and a lot of things just weren't written down. But when they were written down, it was written about the 5 elements of water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. Water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. And each person on earth falls into these elements. Now, let me give a disclaimer and say that you have all the elements in you. You dance with all 5 elements. However, you are going to have 1 or 2 that are stronger than the others. And those 1 or 2 are going to come out in healthy ways or dysfunctional ways. Every element has its strength and every element has its challenges. And so we refer to people as a water, or wow, she is such a wood, or ah, he was a metal for sure. That's how we refer to them in our world. And I do want to say that it's not about categorizing people, putting people into boxes. No, when you learn the 5 elements, you are astounded at how it opens your mind about people. You suddenly have compassion for people. You suddenly see them in a way you've never seen them before. For instance, I'll give an example. The water type. Waters are creative and intuitive, and they move at a little bit slower of a rhythm than the other elements. They're very, very deep. They're usually introverted. They're highly empathic. And I just said a lot of good things. One of their challenges is they are often running late. They have a hard time working with the clock of this world, and what can feel like a very rushed world to them and a very urgent world. Now, we can say that about a lot of people and most of the elements. Yes, the world has sped up. Gene Houston talks about this. The great thought leader Gene Houston talks about how the world has sped up. And we almost all of us feel like it's going faster than ever, but especially for a water element, it doesn't, that vibe, that urgency doesn't resonate with them. So they can often miss deadlines. They can often show up late. They often aren't working with the clock. Somebody may label them as procrastinators. When you learn this, you understand them. Oh my gosh, that person was born into this element. Let me give them some compassion instead of, I can't believe they showed up late again. They're 15 minutes late. I am so mad. No, it's like, oh, I get it. They're a water element. Their whole rhythm is off with the urgency of our world. So that's just one little example, Willa. Each element has its challenges, its strengths. We also, within the elements, have parts of our body that are more susceptible to illness and disease. I'll take the wood element, for example. Our organs are the liver and the gallbladder. So it doesn't mean that because I'm a wood element, I'm necessarily going to have problems with my liver and gallbladder. But knowing that my liver and gallbladder are more susceptible than the other elements, I'll take care of it more. I'll do my lemon water. I'll do my energy techniques for my liver. Maybe I'll just rub my hands together and I'll hold my liver. Now I'm on the right. I think it looks different on the camera, but maybe I'll just nurture my liver, knowing that because I'm a wood element, my liver and gallbladder will be more susceptible. For a metal element, it's the lungs and the large intestine. How great is it to know as a metal that if you have constipation, it's not just a random thing. Your organ is the large intestine, the colon. So nurture it. Give it foods that really respond to it. Hydrate, drink more water, do your techniques with the different valves of your colon, your large intestine. Okay, so I hit the 5 elements really, really fast.
You did. And I very much appreciate that you shared about the 5 elements today so that people can have a little taste of what that can be like, because that's one of your workshops that you'll be here at Lilydale to teach the power of the 5 elements. So people will get a further exploration when they come this summer and learn from you about the 5 elements. And there is that beautiful book as well that people can read. And, the Eden method, people can find out more about that on the edenmethod.com website, correct?
Yes, edenmethod.com. And I am so excited to come to Lilydale. I love Lilydale so much. I haven't been there in about 15 and a half years. And I'm so excited to come back. It is magic. And I will be teaching all about the 5 elements. And if people want to pick up my book beforehand, that's great. It's called The 5 Elements. And I hope you all come out to Western New York and spend a weekend with us. It'll be awesome.
It will be awesome. And I really appreciate you coming on the show today. You basically gave us a mini class, a taste of what is to come for when you're visiting here in Lilydale. So yes, people will want to be here on June 29th for the 9 energy systems. You'll be able to go even greater detail, more understandings about those things for people who attend that workshop. And then on June 30th, you'll be here for the power of the 5 elements. So people can really find out what their personality is, what the people around them, their personalities are, so that they can work more cohesively and energetically, be mannerly with each other.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
So a lot of people really appreciate the show today. I got great comments from folks already. So thank you so much for being here today. Having Dondi Dahlin come to Lilydale is such a wonderful, special treat. And we're really very much excited to have you be with us this summer. So everyone, be visiting the lilydaleassembly.org website so that you can get your tickets, and know that there are a lot of things to see and do and be in Lilydale this summer. It's a 10-week summer season program of message services with mediums and healing services with spiritual healers and wonderful guest workshop presenters that will be here. So please take part in it this summer. It starts on June 21st and ends on September 1st this year. And we're glad that you're going to be here toward the beginning of our summer season program. Thanks again for being on the show today, Dondi. We really appreciate it very, very much. All right, everyone. I'll see you next week for another great show. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.